So I'm going to make this one brief because it's the early hours and I have space issues. Some sources have been saying that Boris Johnson is our 77th Prime Minister, including some reputable newspapers. This is not accurate. I wanted to find out where this figure came from because I had, under my reckoning, under my understanding, he is 55th Prime Minister, not 77th. So I was wondering where is this coming from? So what occurred to me was this figure taking into account early prime ministers who had more than one term, non-consecutive. And I added it up, and right enough, that is exactly it. So that figure of 77 is inaccurate. There haven't been 77 prime ministers, in the modern sense at least. I'm not including, for example, King Henry VIII's advisors or anything like that, Cardinal Wolsey. I'm talking about the general sense, which is to Robert Walpole was the first Prime Minister. So since then, there have been 55 individuals from Walpole to Johnson. So as an example, if you take that 77 figure, then you would be counting the Duke of Newcastle as the fourth Prime Minister and the sixth Prime Minister. Gladstone served, I think it was four non-consecutive terms. So that's a bit misleading, and I think journalists should be a little bit more responsible about that, just as a matter of accuracy. They could say there's been 77 prime ministerial terms, not 77 prime ministers. So just to clarify, Boris Johnson is our 55th prime minister as an individual, not the 77th prime minister. And very briefly, by the same token, we often hear that Donald Trump, for example, is the 45th American president. Actually, there's been 44 individuals. That is because one American president, Grover Cleveland, served two terms non-consecutively, and so far is the only president to have done that. So he's ranked as both the 22nd and the 24th president. He's the only American president in that situation, whereas in both the 18th and 19th centuries, there were quite a few British prime ministers in that situation. And even in the 20th century, I mean, Harold Wilson had two non-consecutive terms. So, yeah, I hope that explains it. If you look up the Wikipedia thing, you counted the terms of office. That's the explanation. It's 77. So, journalists out there, be responsible. It's not 77 prime ministers, it's 55. Boris Johnson is the 55th prime minister. Might seem like a trivial point, but for historical accuracy, that's a fact.